Smile is great, but one smile in a community of smiles is so much better. A smile has a secret power that most people don't know about. A smile multiplies. It spreads from one person to the next, stretching across entire groups of people. Smile Train knows this and is proud to be creating a wave of smiles across the cleft lip and palate community in over 70 countries. Patients, doctors, advocates, fundraisers. Collectively, our smiles are a celebration of the transformed lives of over 1.5 million children. Learn how Smile Train is helping the cleft lip and palate community at smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
Prostate cancer screening is a simple blood test. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Your family history of prostate cancer increases the risk for all the men in your family. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Prostate cancer is most treatable when it's detected early. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Men, it's your life. That's why it's so important to talk to your doctor about getting tested. If you want info on how to take action, the Prostate Cancer Foundation is here to help. For more than 30 years, PCF, a leader in scientific breakthroughs, has funded cutting-edge research that speeds new treatments into clinics, helping patients live longer with fewer complications. Go to pcf.org to learn more about prostate cancer and how you can advocate for yourself. Remember, it's your life, and it's a simple blood test. Get it done.
We are the home of Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I hate when I'm looking for something and I put it in the front and now it's not in the front. So you gotta keep looking. You keep looking. My life. Keep looking. Nope. I put it in the front. So It got moved. That's all right. It got moved. That's how life goes. Somebody must have came and went through my book and moved it. Because it couldn't have been me, right? Because if I did it, then that would make me look silly. And it's only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. No, I'm a little defuzzled because, or should I say befuzzled, defuzzled? Doesn't matter. I read a story on WISN 12 today, right? And so some of the stuff I'm looking for is one of those things we talk about where you make changes and you think they're for the better only to find out later that they're not. Right? They're not. Speaker Voss, this is from WISN.com. Speaker Voss proposes requiring state employees to return to the office. And so I'm kind of thinking, why aren't they in the office? Like, what? But then he added 3 or 4 days a week. And I'm like, what do you mean 3 or 4 days a week? What are they doing now? A lot of employees aren't working, or they're working only from home and not doing it very well. So he proposed that all state employees return to work at least 3 to 4 days a week as part of a new state budget. Well, wait a minute. What happened to the old state budget that said they got to work 5 days a week? Voss appeared on Upfront TV show on WISN 12, said that we still have far too many employees that are working from home. We had an audit that came out over the summer. I think it was some employees hadn't been in the office in months and months. It's an embarrassment. So number one, we need to make sure people are actually doing their job. I would love to be able to say people have to be back in the office at least 3 to 4 days a week. I think we need to look at how state government functions, and one of the reasons that we have not had the services we want to deliver is because a lot of employees aren't working, or they're working only from home, and they're not doing it very well with little supervision. Of course, Tony Evers' administration and Democrats blasted the comments as the administration looks to what? Consolidate buildings and potentially save hundreds of millions of dollars. A possibility according to a state audit. State workers don't need a lecture on productivity. I don't know whether or not he's dealt with the employees or called as a citizen to the state government, because many times it's not really that great. Department of Administration has indicated the state could save $9 million in occupancy costs and more than $541 million in deferred maintenance through the consolidation of buildings. I think we're going to see that the proposals are not only going to bring in additional revenue for the state, but that the consolidation of buildings could bring. But we need you to do your job. We need you to actually work. As part of the audit, state auditors visited 15 agencies and said the average proportion of workstation in use ranged from 0 to 34.5%. Maybe that's because they weren't at work. So how do you expect to get a raise? How are you going to give more money to agencies without them actually performing their job? So when you're there, all you have to do is answer the phone or answer email. Like, what are the performance metrics you would use in order to make sure someone is doing their job? And how do you do that? That doesn't make any sense to me, but for some reason we believe that there's this way we can do this by allowing people to stay at home. And that just makes no sense to me. But yet, we believe this. We believe that people should stay at home. And so the spokesperson for the governor's office says state workers don't need a lecture on productivity from a guy who led the least active full-time legislature in America during the worst economic crisis in a decade. Evers spokesperson Britt Cutterback said in a statement, if the speaker is looking for people who aren't doing work very well, it seems his branch of government would be a great place to start. So the issue I have with that is you're an administrator appointed to be a spokesperson. Is that a direct quote from the governor? Because if it's not, nobody cares what you think. You're a spokesperson. Answer the questions based on facts, not opinion, or what you think somebody should say. But I guess that's the kind of government we have. They seem to think that the world belongs to them. And so we go through this ridiculous mumbo jumbo. But I think part of what we're missing, just part, is that people aren't working. You need to come back to work. If you work for government, this hanging out at home because of COVID-19 garbage is over. If you're afraid you're going to get COVID, either be vaccinated or work in a bubble. And for all the people who got fired only to find out later that everything that they believed about it was garbage, should sue and get their jobs back. But the bottom line is using the pandemic in almost 2025 for something that happened in 2020 makes absolutely no sense. But yet here we are. And so things have become so convenient because this is the same government that said 6 months before COVID hit that, no, you have to do everything in person. No, you have to come to the office, right? Because you wanted all those people to get paid. Even though other states had DMVs where you could literally do it from your phone or do it from home and prove it was you. But no, can't do that. But as soon as COVID hit and you wanted to take advantage of it, now all of a sudden it's okay. Matter of fact, if your mommy says, you remember this? If your mommy says you're driving okay, we'll just send you a permit and a license. We'll just believe the general public. And so now we're here today, where people actually haven't come to work. They haven't proven they have pre-existing conditions. And if you can prove you have a pre-existing condition and you don't want to come to work, but you still want to keep your job, that's great, but we're not paying you what we would normally pay you. If you're not actively doing work from home, it makes no sense for you to get paid what you get paid. But then let's do what the administration's audit said. Let's consolidate and save $9 million in one space. Let's consolidate and save $500 million in another. Let's do it. I think it's time for the state of Wisconsin and the legislature and the people to use the dirty word used during the COVID-19 pandemic in relation to what I call lazy employees. Can you say defund?
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
It's College Month on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, and we want to help your young scholars get those free scholarship dollars. All month long, we will be highlighting local universities who offer full tuition scholarships and local organizations who help students find thousands of dollars in scholarships each year. So be sure to tune into 1017 The Truth's College Month so you can learn how your scholar can get those scholarship dollars. College Month on The Truth is sponsored by Educators Credit Union and Concordia University, Wisconsin.
The Wisconsin Black Chamber presents Black Friday Weekend Diverse Business Expo, Friday, November 29th through Sunday, December 1st. We kick off Friday at 10 a.m. Be there to meet the Powerhouse Business Panel, learn their journey to success, and participate in a Q&A with these successful local business owners. The after party starts at 6:30 with the Legends of Soul, featuring the music of Frankie Beverly and Mays and Quincy Jones, performed by Christopher's Project. Saturday is the Black Chamber Music Fest starting at 10 a.m. with 7 musical performances by local bands. Then the after party starts at 7. Don't miss Poetry Unplugged with Kwabena Nixon. Sunday, the Wisconsin Black Chamber presents the Exposure Fashion Affair starting at noon. If you need some style or want a style of your own, be here. Check out Milwaukee's stylists and designers and join us for the after party. It's Divas of Soul, performed by Christopher's Project. Friday and Saturday, attend the Access to Capital workshops, and all weekend long, jam to the sounds of DJ L Boogie, meet TV and radio personalities, win some great prizes in the raffles, and don't forget to bring a toy for the toy drive. Don't miss out on what we have going on.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
After a crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. At Gruber Law Offices, we have the knowledge and experience to make sure you're protected. And we're here to help whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we count on the support of community partners. One of those local partners is Associated Bank. Together, we are committed to uplifting local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee home and promise to be a positive reflection on the community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Associated Bank, member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is we'll be giving away these tickets. Want to just do it now? All right. 833-212-1017 is the number. Truth Nation. Now is your chance to win a pair of tickets to see the holiday classic Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer at the Todd Ware Theater at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. So come home for the holidays as the most famous reindeer of all soars off the screen and returns to first stage this season, celebrating 60 years. Got it? 60 years on television. Join Rudolph and friends as they come to life on stage in an adventure that teaches us what makes you different can also make you special. Win a pair of tickets right now by being caller number 4 at 833-212-1017. That's caller number 4, 833-212-1017 is the number to win a pair of tickets to see Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer at the Todd Ware Theater at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. To buy tickets, of course, visit firststage.com. That's firststage.com. 833-212-1017 is the number. So I had this story that I wanted to talk about, and also want to remind you that at 4:30 we've got Ebony Solly, who's the marketing manager for Outreach Community Health Center. You know, this is healthcare month, like health month, and she's in marketing, and she's like telling people about all the things that are going on outreach community health and their impact on the community and all that stuff. So we'll be talking about that. And then I've got a very special guest for Entrepreneurship Tuesday that's coming in at 5:15. So it's going to be crowded. It's going to be a lot of stuff. So, and we still got the top 5 at 5. You could call in and get reindeer tickets to go see Rudolph. I mean, it's just crowded. I'm just saying. Even if you got garage door, even if you got issues with your garage door, best way I know how to deal with it is to call my friends at Geis. Family owned since 1955, Geis is the trusted authority on garage doors and openers in southeastern Wisconsin. I live in southeastern Wisconsin, and I got to tell you, I use them too. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every single budget and will even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. So for fast, reliable garage repair solutions, do like I did. Go to geisdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com or call 262-784-4250. Tell them Dr. Ken said call. Don't think twice. Call Geis. But yeah, it's going to be a full show. We got so much stuff going on. Let me see. I got to get all this stuff. We also want to say thank you to Associated Bank for being a founding partner of the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Together, we're committed to uplifting local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. Be sure to tune in to Jammin' with Juice at noon. That's on Thanksgiving Day. And Black Friday. And they're going to be interviewing Black entrepreneurs and want to encourage you to buy local on Small Business Saturday. So whatever your financial needs are, Associated Bank can help. Member FDIC. Buy Black on Small Business Saturday. Sure you check that out. So anyway, 833-212-1017 is the number. Let me do all my stuff. Got to check in. Talking text line. Got to Dr. Ken. Being in a seat of government building doesn't equal higher worker productivity. Sounds like we need better managers holding people accountable for results. But the problem with that, Wayne, is that you can't when I can't see you or have access to you. So how do I know you're being productive? How do I know you're at your job and not sitting at a baseball game for your kid? How do I know you're not at home sleep instead of typing up stuff you have to do? Or you're causing yourself so much undue stress that is causing an issue, right, with you getting all the work done all at one time, and then it's crappy. So you're getting the work done, but it's crappy work. The quality of it is different. So how do you do that? You come to work. And here's the kicker. If your boss who pays you money tells you to come to work, you actually come to work. Like, I don't understand why that's an issue. If you get paid and they say, hey, you have to go to work. Guess what? We got to go to work. It's kind of that simple. I don't understand. It's literally kind of that simple. But for some reason, we just don't seem to get it. But I understand what you're saying. A manager can't hold you accountable when they're miles from you. Like a manager can't hold you accountable by making you do something and you're not even there. I'm just saying. 833-212-1017 is the number. Before we get to our guest, I came across a story on WISN.com that kind of threw me for a loop. That kind of made me go, wait, what? This makes absolutely no sense. What exactly am I reading? What exactly am I looking at? Prosecutors charged 5 additional men. I didn't know the first one they got charged. In addition, 5 additional men in connection with a suspected prostitution ring operating out of an apartment on Milwaukee's near West Side. New misdemeanor charges come just days after, you ready? Public defender Travis Schwantes faced serious charges in the same investigation. Prosecutors accused Schwantes of falsifying documents in order to defend one of the sex workers investigators say he solicited. Swantes resigned from the office of the Wisconsin State Public Defender in September. George Easton, 76, of Pleasant Prairie. William Green, 59, of West Dallas. David Ornstein, 50, of Milwaukee. Christopher Reeg, 55, of Greenfield. And Leroy Stewart, 53, of Racine, each face misdemeanor pandering solicitation charges. Investigators said the men paid sex workers operating out of an apartment building near 29th and Kilbourne, and according to court documents, Easton is a retired Pleasant Prairie municipal judge. The complaint said that he admitted to police he paid women, and anyway, I was about to do quality control, but I really can't. $200 an hour to engage in acts of prostitution. Investigators said Ornstein is a Milwaukee firefighter, and according to court documents, he had multiple paid sexual encounters, including one just hours before his arrest in March. Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky said the department launched an open internal investigation. They take these matters extremely seriously. According to the complaint, Stewart runs Sunset Options Funeral and Cremation in Oak Creek. A sex worker told investigators he paid for sex encounters at the near West Side apartment and at the funeral home. Stewart said he didn't recall having sex with her there. Interesting. I guess he didn't admit not having sex. He just said he didn't have sex there. So, online records show Rigi works in investment banking. Court documents said he paid for sex acts once a week. You ready? From 2021 through 2023. Once a week. 52 weeks of the year, time 3. Right? Okay. Investigators said sex worker provided Green's first and last name and occupation as a lawyer. He told police he is affiliated with the Salvation Army and that he would see the sex worker for companionship and take a break from his wife. WISN News attempted, of course, to get a hold of the men and couldn't get a hold of them. So, court documents said the sex worker provided information to police, and that woman has since been charged and convicted for keeping a place of prostitution. As her sentencing, her attorney said she was a victim of sex trafficking, even though it was her apartment, and she let the men in. And she charged them money, but it was sex trafficking. Okay, so were you trafficking the men? Like, I don't really under. The 5 men charged yesterday face a misdemeanor charge. If convicted, they could all get $10,000 fine and up to 9 months in jail. They go back to the judge next month. Yeah. Interesting. So what would you do? I mean, you know, they already got caught, so I don't know what they could do. What kind of world we living in where you, and I mean, had a thing going, like 5, 6. So, you know, if you caught 5, it's got to be what, 50? If you caught 5, it's got to be 15? I don't know. Wayne on Talking Texas said, Dr. Ken, the standard is the standard. No, the standard is coming to work, about the workers and coming to work with Robin Voss. The standard is coming to work 40 hours a week, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. Dr. Ken, the best leaders manage people over multiple offices, cities, states, and countries. Yeah, and many times they do a really poor job. They also have the infrastructure in place so that they don't have to manage so many people, because if you understand management versus directing versus leading, those are 3 different things. But anyway, this has been going on for decades. No, it's not. Technology only makes the task easier. In some cases, it makes it easier. Government needs to get its act together. Well, it needs to get its act together by utilizing the fact that people want a person there. But I'm just saying, stop doing what's convenient for just the worker and do what's right for both of them. I'm just saying. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Outreach Community Health Centers Marketing Manager Ebony Sally up next. Traffic, sports, and weathers. I think that's coming up too.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Adrian Dunn's Wonderful, a soulful celebration, comes to the Bradley Symphony Center for one night only on December 7th. Get your tickets now to experience lots of your favorite seasonal music the gospel way. Emmy Award-nominated composer and conductor Adrian Dunn leads the Adrian Dunn Singers and the Rise Orchestra in a festive mix of soulful arrangements that are sure to fill you with hope and peace. With drums, guitars, tambourines, and plenty of hallelujahs, this festive concert promises to take the entire audience to church and beyond. Adrian Dunn's Wonderful, a soulful celebration runs December 7th only. For tickets and more information, visit mso.org or call 414-291-7605.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Gruber Law Offices presents Thanalysis.
Brian Greenhorse.
A podcast from Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
The 2021 championship is one of the purest championships.
Also supported by Carbless, premium ready-to-drink cocktails.
Even if Giannis wins 2 more, it will never be like that.
And Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee.
The mountaintop was achieved.
Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, Fred, so I got some questions.
What's up?
Where should I go if I want to start my own business?
You go to EerieInsurance.com.
Okay, Fred, so where should I go if my kid needs an internship? Or if I need a job, where do I go?
You go to EerieInsurance.com.
Okay, so what if I want to work for a company that believes in diversity, has great benefits, and growth for people like us?
You already know. It's EerieInsurance.com.
Man, so Fred, I just need to go to Erie Insurance?
Go to EerieInsurance.com for all that you need.
It's amazing.
Northbound on 41, we've got a crash right at the end of the Burleigh on-ramp, so got delays basically from Blue Mound Road all the way up to that scene. Also have an accident on northbound 43. This one is at Fond du Lac Avenue off on the right shoulder. Delays heading past that all the way up towards Locust as well. Southbound's going to be slow from Keefe all the way down through the Marquette interchange. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 28. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Slight chance for a mix later on that night. A high of 40. For the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Sneib. After beating the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday afternoon by a final score of 38-10, the Packers will quickly turn their attention as they get set to welcome in the 5-6 Miami Dolphins to Lambeau Field on Thanksgiving night.
These guys got to do whatever they can to try to get their bodies back, and that's a physical football team we just played. So I'm sure some of the guys are going to be pretty sore, but they're in there doing recovery right now.
The Packers will be back out on the practice field later today. That that kickoff is set for Thursday night at 7:15. Over to the NBA as the Milwaukee Bucks get back in action tonight down in South Beach to take on the Miami Heat in Game 3 of the NBA in-season tournament. The Bucks remaining undefeated at 2-0 in group play. Tip-off tonight gets underway at 6:30. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Before we get to our guests, White Widow, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What do you want this afternoon? How's it going?
I just want to tell you thank you very much. Thank Mr. Boss, Ms. Boss, whoever it is. Briefly, I've done 3 cases that come to mind in the last 2 years.
Don't tell us about them. Just make your comment. Yeah, I got a guest coming up.
Okay, I'm sorry, but no one has been at the COGS building.
Right.
The nonprofit people it has been a running joke for state and county workers that they're at home, they're not paying child support anymore. I've been on the phone with people who said, I have an emergency meeting. No, it was the dogs. All people don't work well without supervision.
Right.
And now we went from 2 weeks to see a social worker to 8 weeks. The audit annual for Medicaid.
Wow.
Medicaid update. I took someone there 2 weeks ago, a 78-year-old woman, lives alone. She just needs help getting to the grocery store.
Okay.
The fallout because of people staying at home, Dr. Ken, you can't believe it. The backup and what's happening. People are suffering, and it's ridiculous. County and state, no one came back to work. SDC.
All right. Well,
people
thank you
are
much.
evicted now because they went. Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you.
What happened? She just disappeared, or she just? 833-2. That was weird. 833-212-1017 is the number. In the studio, we got. I'll be squeaking over here and talking all that. In the studio, we have Ebony Solly. Did I get your title right? You're the marketing manager for. I can't hear her. What's going on? I can't hear her. Da-da-da. Okay, try it again. Hang on, try it again.
Good morning.
There you are.
Greetings. Hey, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get my chair up.
What's that? Oh, wait. Okay.
It's fine.
No, it's not. Stand up.
Then you're going to say I'm a diva.
There.
He's going to say I'm a diva, and I'm not. I'm just, my feet dangle.
I would never call a diva when she's already a diva. So I would never do that. I'd never do that. All right, let's look. Let's start over. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. We got the stare. We got the chair taken care of. We got the microphone taken care of. We got the headphones taken care of. And I guess we're gonna try to get some health taken care of. We have the marketing manager for Outreach Community Health Centers, Ebony Solly, in to really talk about, because we haven't really talked about. This month is National Health Month. And it's a whole bunch of stuff that they put, which I thought was kind of dumb. But I guess we kind of ran out of diseases and ran out of months and years.
It's not a joke. Dr. Kenneth Harris.
No, that's academic doctor. I'm not a medical doctor, so don't put that on me. See? So, in all seriousness, tell us about Outreach. What exactly is Outreach Community Health Centers?
So Outreach is one of 5 community health centers federally qualified.
Right.
So HRSA, which is our governing body, comes through every so many years to make sure that we're doing what we say we're going to do. And what we do is provide health services, primary care, dental, behavioral health.
So when I say I go to a doctor's office, I could go to your center.
You see your primary care physician with us. And so what we do is, being federally qualified, we make sure that whether you have insurance or not, you can get seen.
Really?
No, you will not be turned away.
Really?
Yes. We have a sliding fee scale, so we make sure that the ones who get looked over, or you lost coverage, or couldn't get in on time.
In between jobs, or I got a job and I'm waiting to start, but my
job
insurance, you have to wait 30 days and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So,
So a lot of things can happen in that time. You can get sick. You can get a cold. You can discover that you have a serious disease and you need treatment. So all of that plays a role.
So did you know that before you went to work there?
I did not, but I've been in the health space for a very, 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 very long time. And my personal mission is just to make sure that we all are healthy and well.
Right.
So when I found out that this organization, I knew of health centers, but when I found out this organization is in our community and is putting up what they say they do, I was on board.
And so when you say their impact in the community, what is that?
So I went to get numbers because I know you like numbers. I know you don't like pontificating.
Even though I got hollered at yesterday and trashed for calling myself doctor and all that stuff. So,
academic. Anyway. So 19,000 served in 2023.
That's all?
That means folks
That's
that
a lot of people.
Could not get coverage at one of the major healthcare systems.
Right.
We caught them in that net.
Right.
So for me, that's the impact. Just medical, dental. I teased out the numbers. 14,000 dental patients. And you know how I feel about teeth. Teeth are like a gateway into health because you start your heart problems with your teeth, what you eat, but being able to chew, all of that makes an impact. 14,000 we took care of, and we're in schools giving the babies treatments. Because, they like candy and they like sweets and sodas and this and that.
Not
and we're
at
just
all.
making sure that they get those teeth squared away. So I'm excited about that.
Okay. So then when you say their impact on the community at large, you're talking upwards of really that number is about 0.4% of the people that are in Milwaukee. But when you look at the fact that not everybody needs to go to the doctor, not everybody's at an age to go to the doctor. And
who doesn't need to go to the doctor?
No, that's what I'm saying. Let me get, hey, always.
Because day one, you need the doctor there.
But you understand what I'm saying. So you get older, you get in that age. Well, I'm young and I'm healthy, so I don't go to the doctor as often as I should. And then that number keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. In comparison, even with all the other hospitals, you serve a lot of people. Because those people that need that, who have those chronic conditions that don't have health care and might be too old and are at that range where they literally don't qualify for Medicare.
That part.
But they don't have a job.
That part. Too much money
for one, but not enough to and you get stuck. And so that number is pretty small. So at that range, you're probably looking at with what? 3 federally qualified health centers? No, here in Milwaukee? 5? You're talking 20-30% of them.
Yeah.
You all handle.
That's it.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So we don't take that impact lightly.
So how do you get paid?
Through the government.
Okay.
So the government is saying that you are taking care of the population that is underserved. So I pulled some data. 30 million people fall into that category in this country. Wow. 30 million people are in zip codes that have been divested.
And that's not a black thing or a white thing. That's everybody in America.
Yep.
Wow.
We all are in that same boat. So even if, I know I complain a lot about healthcare being expensive, it's because we're subsidizing, right? So the big healthcare systems are charging you $5 million for one aspirin because they also have to take care of the people who show up on their doorstep or are using their emergency services. So we're trying to be that gap where you don't need to run to emergency for everything. If you get a primary care...
Or if I get a headache or something, I can just run to outreach.
If your physician knows that you're prone to get headaches because, hey, Dr. Ken, you don't eat right. Here's a dietitian. Come here. You can sit down with Kelsey, our nutritionist, and say, you're not eating well. So you need more green leafy vegetables. Then your headache will go away.
Now, does that change based on race, culture, all that thing? So do you have that nuance as well
I'm going to say yes and no.
Okay.
So you're going to get quality care no matter which race box you check.
But you're going to get general quality care.
You're going to get general quality care. However, we do have physicians that are there to provide culturally competent care. So we have African-American doctors. We know we're going to eat a little bit differently. We're going to have a little bit more salt content in our diet.
Thanksgiving.
All right, listen.
Okay. All right. Sorry. See, I just distracted her and she went.
I got to put my pie on hold with different households. Okay. So we'll talk in the break about what pie you're.
And so when we come back, I want to ask you, why would somebody in southeastern Wisconsin choose to seek assistance from Outreach?
Okay.
And I have a number to go with it, and I want to ask it in context of that number. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, Ebony Solly, Marketing Manager, Outreach Community Health Centers. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. The Milwaukee Panthers hit the road again Wednesday night as they head to Orlando to take on the University of Central Florida Golden Knights.
Polian shot fake, drive, teardrop is pure. Smooth move by Kentrell Polian. Oh, that was pretty.
Scott Warris has the coverage Wednesday starting at 5:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield.
McKee back out there, gets in to the lane, stops and hits over the 6'8" Hronski.
Tip-off happens at 6 o'clock.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million, which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know, what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know, Denise, out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so we went out, created a program, launched it last year in 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive is bringing us all together again to collect toys for children and families in need.
Join Capco and WTMJ for a celebration of giving on December 7th at the Kazmarek Center in Grafton.
This is more than just a toy drive. It's about kids helping kids. We are learning the importance of giving and how that impacts other kids and families all over Wisconsin.
Experience the joy of giving on December 7th.
And don't forget to bring toys.
Help us make a difference this Christmas. Visit kidstoKidstoyDrive.com.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. In studio, our guest is Marketing Manager for Outreach Community Health Centers, Ebony Solly. So before the break, I had a question for you, and I'm just going to ask it. Okay. Why would somebody in southeastern Wisconsin choose to seek assistance from Outreach? But then I was thinking, you said 30 million people in the country need it. And if you just did a average of, we got 50 states and divide that, that's 600,000 people. Yeah. And you said, oh, yeah, we got 5 in the city. And I'm like, that can't be enough.
It's not enough. It's a constant need. So I think with our mission, everybody that's at the table is focused on care. So of course we need more of that team, but we're doing what we can.
Okay, so you got some numbers you want to share, but I'm looking at how do we get, how did we get here? The need to have to promote all of this, the issues we have in medical issues. In November, it's Diabetes Month, it's lung cancer awareness, pancreatic cancer, National Family Caregivers, Great American Smoke Out, chronic obstruction pulmonary disease. We all heard it as COPD, right? In the commercials and all that. Antibiotic safety, because sometimes you can take an antibiotic and then your body becomes used to it, so it's useless, and you think you're helping yourself and you're not, and it's overprescribed. So what numbers? What is it we need to know?
It's all of that, but I want to put something even in front of that. Vaccinations. Okay. Now, we got some nasty bug that's going around right now. Last year we did 800 vaccinations.
What kind?
All of COVID.
Okay, like a combination.
Yep,
okay.
Yep. But what we were finding is people are, but now keep in mind, our target time of the year is really only 2 or 3 months. So we wanted
like
people
September,
to get
October,
in October.
November.
Exactly, so that they be prepared for the holidays. They're going out to visit with family. We want them to be protected. That's newborns. We got to make sure these babies are covered with vaccination. So we just received 2 grants to get people in and get their flu vaccine. It's time off from work. Again, we serve a population that if they're missing work, that's missed money, right? So
can you all go to different places throughout the city and just set up?
We do have a mobile van
that's what I thought.
Well. Yeah, so people can take a look at our website, and I know that's like the kiss of that. You never say take a look at our website.
Well, but you can take a look at a website because everybody has a cell phone.
Yep.
And you can just go there
and pull down the information. Tell us that you want us to be at your spot. We can make arrangements to get that done. We got a little bit of paperwork to get that out, but we want to keep people healthy. The other one is diabetes. We know what that looks like in the African American community. We know what we're eating, and we're just imploring people to get in, get checked, and then make a plan. Because if you can catch anything early enough, you can make a plan to get around it.
Very true.
Diabetes, do what we need to do. Keep your feet, keep your body healthy, all of that by just coming in and making an appointment.
So then how do you make people aware? You're a marketer, right? You do marketing and branding in the healthcare space. How do you make sure people understand that?
Opportunities like this. So shout out to you, Dr. Ken, for the opportunity to share, but it's really making it a part of the conversation. So I love cake. I love pie. I love
shouldn't
a
eat
good
cake,
vegetable.
shouldn't eat pie.
In moderation. But you need a nutritionist to say, this is what you specifically need to do, and these are your markers, and this is where you get into the danger zone. And a lot of people shy away from that. Oh, well, my mom has sugar and my grandma has sugar. That does not mean that you also have it, right? You have the tools and you have the technology now that you can be better at.
But aren't we scared? I mean, the other day, somebody came up and they said, they were talking, this and I'm this and this and I got you beat. And I said, well, how old are you? He's like 52. I was like, well, I'm 6.
You were like 100.
And I'm like 64, right? I'm 164.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he actually said, which you can take as a negative, right? You don't look like you're 64. My God, you look good.
Drop the skincare details for us.
Yeah, I will. But then I said, but the difference is, married to a nurse, and people when I was younger walked up and said, hey, dude, when I was in my 30s, right? Because when you go through that, I'm in law enforcement, right? You work out and you get great, but about 5 years in, you ain't got time because you working 16-hour days and going to court, and the weight starts to get on.
Yep.
And somebody came to me and said, hey, dude, you need to work on that. That's going to kill you. A friend of mine told me, weight around your waist will cause your organs to fail and you will die.
You're right.
And I was like, huh?
You're right about it.
And from that point on, I've watched everything I've eaten.
Okay, I'm going to do 2 sit-ups. That's not what this is meant to be. I'm going to do 2 sit-ups. But, I mean, we make light of it. But taking control of your health, I know this is a time where people start to make New Year's resolutions.
But don't we have to tell family members to, how do we step out of that comfort zone?
My grandparents are like, baby, push back from the plate. There was no sugarcoating on that one.
But would you tell your daughter or your son to push back? Would you tell your husband or your wife, hey, you need to push back?
Yes, because that's love.
Okay.
Right? Like, I mean.
Y'all know who to call when y'all be like, I need somewhere to stay tonight. Because
I would say everybody in my family is on the active train. Right. I'm the one that's slow to get back on it. But diabetes, totally preventable. We should be preventing that. Many of the lung cancers.
Type 2 is preventable.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Let me not misspeak. Okay. The cancers, the things, we might have those biomarkers, but diet, lifestyle, choices, all that makes a difference.
Yep.
Smoking, even cigars.
Right. In a high,
cigars.
Even cigars.
See, I came to deliver that message. Just one patient.
Also.
One patient.
Anyway. And go on.
So things like the Great American Smokeout, where we're looking to get people to put the nicotine down. I know the vaping was popular. Yeah. We just want the youth to know, do better. Right. Yep. Do better.
And if you do it, put some time in between it. Don't do every single day, once a week, once a month, or whatever.
There is no safe amount of smoking.
There's no safe amount of eating either. What about food? Come on now. Anyway.
He was going to say your nightcap.
Anything else you want to add? Anything you want to add to the conversation before you go? I want to tell the
people to give us a call at Outreach. We can work through whatever situation you've got going on. 414-727-6320 is the number. Or you can Google Outreach Community Health Centers. Take a look at what we're doing. And take a look at how you can make this 2025 should be your best year ever.
And so if I have an issue and I just want to ask a question, I can just call.
You can just call.
And somebody will talk to me versus,
we want to bring you in because listen, you say you have headaches, right? And you come in and you say, well, I've been having headaches. And then we find out that you're not eating well. It's a tumor or it's a precursor to hypertension it's more than just that. So if you just tell us I have a headache and we give you an aspirin, we're not really getting to the heart.
So do you work with people, and I know we only got a minute or so, do you work with people who are fearful of the medical? We've had some really negative things that happen in the medical field to Black people. So.
And we have culturally competent professionals that, if you want to know what this medicine is actually doing to your body, they will say, step by step by step, this is what happens when you take this heart medication, and this is what it's actually doing, and this is what happens when you stop.
And these are the positives, and these are the negatives, the side effects that aren't as bad as you not taking it and dying. So...
Yeah, or try to split doses because you don't have enough coverage. We've got a pharmacy for that. And just coming in and being honest about that. We've had people that reached out and said, I can't afford my medicine.
Right.
And then we say, all right, well, let's move this around, and get you covered.
So do you take private donations as well?
We do. Okay. You can do those on the website too. Big old donate button. Giving Tuesday is coming up. So while you're having your vegan plant-based pie.
That's not going to happen. I've never had vegan pecan pie.
No, we'll work on it. We'll work on it. But once a year is not a terrible thing to enjoy life and enjoy a good meal. Yep. But you just can't do it every day.
Why not?
It would be too delicious.
And then you'll get overweight, and then you'll get diabetes, and then you'll get
hypertension, all the things,
high blood pressure, and all those things. And so it's not by accident they put all those awarenesses in the month of November.
Right.
It's not an accident because we've got places like Outreach where you can go and go, I don't know what's wrong, but I don't feel right.
Right. And you know your body. That's the other piece. Is like we know when something is off. We know when I just been feeling icky the last few. You know, and that's when it's time to go in.
And so all I have to do, you all are located where?
2nd and Capitol. Give us a call, 414-727-6320. Check us out online.
And do you have like an urgent care type thing? I can just roll up?
So we have that.
But you prefer appointments?
We prefer appointments.
Okay.
Because that way we can walk with you hand in hand and say, this is how you stop that urgent care. This is how you stop needing to go to
we have all your information before you get there and kind of have an idea.
It's preventative care.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ebony Solly, Marketing Manager for Outreach Community Health Centers. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir, for having me.
Appreciate you for coming. Say the phone number one more time.
414-727-6320. We're closed Thursday and Friday, but we're back at it on Monday.
All right. Thank you much.
Thank you, sir.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Top 5 at 5 is coming up. And then we've got a guest for Entrepreneurship Tuesday.
This is Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And Truth Nation, you can now watch my show live on YouTube every day from 9 a.m. until noon. Yep, you can get 3 full hours of watching Sherwin doing his thing streaming live on YouTube Monday through Friday. You'll get the same insightful conversations about policy, politics, and lifestyle while also seeing my reaction to the unpredictability of our listeners. So go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 1017 The Truth and see this wonderful smile live every day.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win. And how many games? 6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
One smile is great, but one smile in a community of smiles is so much better. A smile has a secret power that most people don't know about. A smile multiplies. It spreads from one person to the next, stretching across entire groups of people. Smile Train knows this and is proud to be creating a wave of smiles across the cleft lip and palate community in over 70 countries. Patients, doctors, advocates, fundraisers. Collectively, our smiles are a celebration of the transformed lives of over 1.5 million children. Learn how Smile Train is helping the cleft lip and palate community at smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. Feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
This is 1017 The Truth's Tori Lowe, and I am Milwaukee. The Tori Lowe Show has become a resource for the community. I enjoy having open, on-air discussions about what we can do to regroup, rethink the black man, the black woman, and the black child. This show is about that action, and I want all the smoke. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the new 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by American Family Insurance. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Truth Nation, stand up and tap in. This is 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I've got Paige Engel coming up. She's a business owner, and she'll be here for Entrepreneurship Tuesday. So make sure y'all hang around.
Number 5.
From Fox6Now.com. So I don't know if y'all heard about this. A police chase of a U-Haul truck ended near 52nd and Glenview Avenue this morning. Sheriff's office officials say deputies noticed a known suspect near 8th and Brown wanted for questioning in several incidents, including a homicide investigation. And when he saw deputies, he fled. How can you flee in a U-Haul truck? Help me out. When the suspect saw the deputies, he fled, and officials said the vehicle was not reported stolen, so he appeared to have legitimately rented to the suspect or someone on his behalf. And during the chase, officials said the suspect sideswiped several vehicles, including a Milwaukee County Transit System bus. Deputies managed to stop the truck, 52nd and Glendale, when they deployed stop sticks. 44-year-old man, 43-year-old woman who's a passenger were taken into custody. What was y'all thinking about? Like, what crossed your mind when you decided you wanted to run from the police in a truck that's so big that you literally couldn't hide it? Like, well, I don't get it. I just don't understand.
Number 4.
Milwaukee police are also investigating a shooting that left one person wounded this morning. Happened around 7:50 a.m. Where did it happen? 85th and Brown Deer. People say the victim and suspect were engaged in a road rage argument when the suspect fired shots, striking the victim. The victim, a 40-year-old, summoned for assistance in the area of 107th and West Donna Drive and was taken to the hospital for treatment of non-fatal injuries. No arrests have been made, and if you have any information, you're asked to contact the Milwaukee Police at 414-935-7360, or to remain anonymous, contact Crime Stoppers at 414-224-TIPS or #3 TIPS. So, yeah, I guess it's one of those days in good old Milwaukee County. However,
Number 3.
As Milwaukee fights to reduce traffic deaths, they kind of put in some speed bumps, and I kind of have the same argument. Well, large speed bumps are being installed throughout Milwaukee in an effort to reduce reckless driving. The structures, up to 6 inches tall, several feet wide, technically aren't speed bumps, they're raised crosswalks. Their installation along busy streets like Holton and Center is part of a citywide effort to promote traffic safety and combat reckless driving. In over a decade, the number of people killed in crashes has risen from around 30 to about 90 each year. That's what a recent report says. But some residents are worried because the raised crosswalks and speed bumps sprouting up are too tall and not well marked. The other day I was driving and I hit one. And I didn't see it till I got there. The reason I didn't see it is because it wasn't the normal bump. It was like slanted, then flat, then slanted. But the side I'm driving towards is the same color as the street. So it doesn't really look like a speed bump till you get there and you go on a normal speed and then you hit your brakes so you don't tear your car up. One raised crosswalk at the intersection of Holton and Chambers has been a topic of discussion in the neighborhood Facebook groups. Brenda Barales, 30, River West resident. She hit her car on the raised crosswalk when it was put in earlier this year. Now, she understands the intention of speed humps. It's to reduce vehicle speed. This is from JS Online, by the way. It's to reduce vehicle speed and increase safety. But she said one of the raised crosswalks and speed bumps blended in with the rest of the pavement. Like I said, some drivers say they need to brake abruptly right before hitting it so that they don't scrape their cars. She said she often hears cars hitting the speed bump on the street. The only fault is that you can't see them. So I say paint it yellow. Why can't we just paint it yellow or just paint it white? Now, here's the kicker. When it snows, if the snow builds up high enough, you never even know a speed bump is there. Terry Kloss, 54, also drives through River West, and the speed hump she's most concerned about is at Center and First Street. At the bottom of a hill, she says she almost needs to come to a complete stop to avoid damaging her car. Now, Kloss understands that speed bumps are meant to slow down cars. However, she doubts their efficacy and said there needs to be clearer markings for drivers. A couple of weeks ago, going down Center Street, felt like I was almost going to smash right through the hump. So, city engineer Kevin Muse, M-U-H-S, grapples with it every day. He says particularly tough problem in Milwaukee. And so what do you do? How do you decline problems when you still gotta stop speed humps?
Number 2.
This also from JS Online. New Marquette University President Kimo Ah-Yun, his honeymoon is easing into the job, was cut short yesterday when faculty narrowly declared a lack of confidence in the administration. University's Academic Senate voted 18-17 yesterday, with 2 abstentions in favor of a resolution against Marquette President Kim An-young and Chief Operating Officer Joel Pagazinski. And the Senate includes mostly faculty, but also a couple of students, deans, and administrators. Hiring and firing decisions are the responsibility of the university's Board of Trustees, which declared unwavering confidence in Ah-Yun last week when it unanimously tapped him to be the next president. The board reiterated its faith in him, and Pagazinski, I hope I'm saying that name right, Poggodsinski. There's no confidence vote does not deter our belief that the executive leadership team is leading with our Catholic Jesuit tradition at heart, the board said. That said, we are committed to continuing respectful dialogue and collaboration to address our complex challenges and create solutions. Those solutions cannot begin or end with tuition increases. We must look inward at ourselves and how we operate. So the Senate Chair, Paul Gasser, Gasser, an associate professor of biomedical science, said educators are fully aware of the need for change amid headwinds in higher education. We are not asking to stand still. We're asking for a stronger voice in decisions that affect the quality of a Marquette education because we deliver that education every day. Until Young's promotion last week, he spent 6 years as chief academic officer. He had also been filling in as acting president since Mike Lovell's death last June. He joined Marquette as its chief financial officer in 2017. The vote is largely symbolic, but sends a message to Marquette's leaders and the public about the direction faculty feel the university is headed. In weeks leading up to the vote, the faculty said more than 100 professors and academic departments raised concerns about budget decisions and a lack of transparency in decision-making. But one thing people have to understand about that, well, let me go on. Ben Platek, associate professor of English, was among those raising concerns. He was alarmed by a recent proposal to increase teaching loads, believing that it will harm future faculty recruiting efforts and threaten Marquette's research agenda. Well, you're going to have to start teaching more because you got less students coming, and those types of things are happening. And so you got to kind of be careful when those things happen, which leads us to
number 1.
It took Milwaukee Common Council mere minutes this week to override Mayor Cavalier Johnson's vetoes of council budget amendments. Last week, Johnson vetoed an amendment that allowed for the city to borrow $4 million to complete additional road repairs and partially vetoed a second amendment over its use of the account for the settlement of claims and judgments against the city as a primary funding source. In his November 19th veto letter, I read that yesterday during my top 5 at 5. Well, today, the council at its regular meeting overrode the vetoes with minimal discussion. Ahead of the meeting, Alderwoman Marina Dmitrievich, who chairs the Finance and Personnel Committee, noted the council and Johnson agreed on the vast majority of the $2 billion 2025 city budget. The city's unanimous adoption of the amended budget earlier this month speaks very loudly to the voice of the people. She said, I appreciate him sharing his thoughts, but I think this is going to be pretty straightforward today. So the council override of Johnson's veto of a measure, again, that would borrow $4 million to fund improvement to an additional 30 lane miles of roadway. What that means is that if I had a 10 miles worth of lane and I got 2 lanes, that's 20 miles. Does that make sense? So what happens is we're going to get some streets fixed in the city because we already know that some of the streets in the city are really atrocious. And so hopefully next year, your tax is going to go up a little bit. But hopefully next year we'll be able to ride in luxury so that when you do hit a speed bump, you don't come out of the speed bump and hit an actual hole in the street while you're driving that you can't see. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. When we come back, Entrepreneurship Tuesday, Paige Engel, online business manager, and more up next.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's College Month on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, and we want to help your young scholars get those free scholarship dollars. All month long, we will be highlighting local universities who offer full tuition scholarships and local organizations who help students find thousands of dollars in scholarships each year. So be sure to tune into 1017 The Truth College Month so you can learn how your scholar can get those scholarship dollars. College Month on The Truth is sponsored by Educators Credit Union and Concordia University, Wisconsin.
What are some of the things that we need to really focus on to get our fair share of these opportunities, i.e. access to capital?
It's very important to always think about building a strong business plan, understanding the financial parameters around what you're trying to accomplish, building great networks and great relationships so you can have partnerships and building out your dream. And then finding a good financial partner like Old National to help really orchestrate your vision of the organization. And then, as you know, DT, you wouldn't be where you're at because you're phenomenal, doing great work. And then you have to really have to go to work. If you have that dream, you have that vision, the business plan, the financial piece, then you have to really work at it and keep building.
Learn more about the Old National Bank Small Business Empowerment Loan by visiting oldnational.com/small business or contact a small business banker at Old National Bank.
At We Energies, we're committed to building a bright, sustainable energy future. We're investing in clean energy projects like solar, wind, and battery storage. As a leader in the decarbonization effort, our goal is to achieve net zero carbon emissions from our generation fleet by 2050. It's part of our plan to provide the affordable, reliable, and clean energy you depend on. Learn more at weenergies.com. We Energies, people you can trust, energy you can depend on. This message was paid for by the stockholders of WEC Energy Group.
Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated is celebrating 35 years of serving all income and medically underserved populations of Milwaukee's metropolitan area. MHSI is a one-stop shop that provides medical, radiology, dental, pediatric, behavioral health, pharmacies with affordable medications, and more. Also, MHSI's new family medicine residency program, located at the Isaac Cobbs Heritage Health Center, has brought 28 family doctors to our area, which is significantly impacted by healthcare workforce shortages. Become a new patient today. To schedule an appointment, call 414-372-8080. Your health is their business.
Take the stress out of the holiday season with the Milwaukee Bucks. Get all your shopping done with Bucks deal season offers, featuring great gifts and limited time packages that even Scrooge will love. Score deals for everyone on your list, including yourself, from the Milwaukee Bucks and Pfizer Forum. 'Tis the season for cheer with your favorite deer. After all, there's no place like Pfizer Forum for the holidays. Shop the offers today at bucks.com/deal season.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Entrepreneurship Tuesday on Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is powered by We Energies. Energy you can depend on.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. And we're here for Entrepreneurship Tuesday, powered by We Energies. And we have a guest here today. I have never heard of her in my life. I don't know who. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know who she is. K. Paige Ingalls. She's a what people describe as a dynamic online business manager. But I'm really upset with her because when I found out what one of her businesses is, I was kind of like, ooh. So anyway, she has a passion for empowering influencers, content creators, business owners to streamline, elevate their digital presence. Years of experience. J'ai parlé français.
Oui, je parle français très bien, merci.
Bilingual marketing professional. She does trips over to France. I don't like her anymore, so we're not going to have her on the show anymore. You can't come. You can't come on my show today because you just do everything, and it sounds great. So our guest today is K. Paige Ingalls, and thank you very much for being here.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Harris, for having me. I appreciate
I'm Dr.
it.
Ken or Ken.
Okay.
You don't have to. We don't do the whole formal thing. but it looks like, sometimes we get people who do this, and they do one thing, and then that's it. But you've kind of taken what your strengths are, and you just apply them to different business models.
Correct.
So what is that? Did you grow up here? Where'd you come from?
Yeah, so I actually did grow up in Milwaukee, on the north side of Milwaukee. I was not born here, but I was definitely raised here. Went to Nicolay High School.
Oh, wow.
And then I went out east for undergrad to Mount Holyoke College.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I did my master's at Mount Mary. So love Milwaukee, love everything it has, to offer the community, and that's why I'm here.
Now, is that really why you're here?
I'm really here because of my parents.
Okay.
My mom got really sick. We just recently lost her.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, thank you. But yeah, just being with family, and it's important to me.
Because there's usually that catalyst thing.
Yes.
That makes you remember it, that thing you remember growing up, or that thing that happened. What sparked your interest in business? I mean, you went all the way out to, Mount Holyoke, and then ended up back here, and
Why business?
So I'll tell you what it was. So my mom's name, her name was Violet. She was very much a Southern girl from Alabama, from the middle of Alabama.
Hurtsboro. We're from Hurtsboro.
Oh, okay.
Side of Montgomery.
Yeah,
okay.
She's from Jasper, right outside of Birmingham.
All right.
And her vision, they spoke a patois. Her vision was for me to speak French the correct way.
The correct way.
And I'm using the air quotes. So her vision was that I had a tutor when I was in middle school, because I am that old that we didn't have it in school yet, in middle school and high school. And then when I entered high school, it only went to French 4, and I started French 3 as a freshman. So I obviously had an aptitude and a gift. I went out to college. My school did not have a study abroad in France. They only had Oxford. So my mom said, apply.
That's close enough.
Well,
take a train.
She said, apply to the Sorbonne and see what happens. I applied to the Sorbonne and I got in.
Of course.
And of course. Well, I didn't think of course, but she knew of course. And I wasn't going to go. And my mom said, you know what? You literally just got into the Harvard of Europe. You are going. And you're going to make the most of this experience that you have. So while I was there, I was able to study French, 14th and 15th century architecture.
Because you had to live it. You had to actually live it because that was the language.
That's right.
And what I found is that is the European language, right?
It is.
So you can find people that speak Farsi, or Pashto, but they even in most African nations, but their second language is French.
Yeah, absolutely. The Francophonie world is so big you wouldn't even realize it.
Yeah. And so what training did you get other than outside of college? What training did you get? I mean, is there a certification or?
So
you jumped into this content. How can I say this?
No,
you and I are at a age and a culture and in a generational space where, like, what we do now is odd to some people because they say, "Oh, you're too old."
Yes.
But in fact, you've kind of perfected that.
Yeah. So there are some certifications that are out there. I'm a huge proponent of people being certified in the things that they need to be certified in. Like, I do not want my doctor to watch 3 YouTube videos.
I think you might want to be more than certified. A little more like graduated. Okay. All right.
Graduated.
Licensed.
Licensed, all the things. But I tend to love learning, and that love for learning and not being afraid of trying something new. New technologies, new interactions with people. I think that's one of the things that has always served me.
So when you did that, like, what did you find lacking, though? I mean, because usually we step out and I got this. I speak French. I got this. I've gone to the Sorbonne. I did all this stuff, and then you run into that thing you realize you really don't have. What was that?
For me, it was, I found that there was a gap in the space. There weren't a lot of people who looked like me. So there weren't those mentors for me to look up to because there weren't a lot of people who looked like me or in my age bracket.
Okay. In your age bracket to do what?
To be in this content creation thing, to help other influencers and business owners. There wasn't that like blueprint. I think that was the biggest like hurdle for me. And then I decided, well, you know what? I just have to make my own blueprint.
So then, how did you create a blueprint when, at a time when there wasn't one? I mean, did you just build it from scratch, or did you watch other people and take like best practices from people?
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what I did. I took best practices from the young girlies. I took best practices from the bros that were online doing lots of things in the online space. I took it all and figured out how can I mesh it with the skill set that I had, which was strategy and marketing and experience. How could I meld all those things together? And now that's what I do. I support other people with that.
So before we go to break, what is your hope in owning this business? Other than, we talk about, and you've talked about helping people and helping content, but and that may be your mission, but what is your personal vision as it relates to owning a business in Milwaukee?
My hope is that people see me and they see how I do it and what I do, and that they know that it's possible for them.
Okay.
That is my hope. Even if, like I said, I did not see anyone who looked like me before, and now I'm ready to be that vision for someone else.
All right. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Our guest today, Entrepreneurship Tuesday, is none other than Paige Engel. Notice how I dropped the K because when she introduced herself, she said, "My name is Paige." I was like, "But it's say." And
my friends call me Paige,
and she gave me that look like, "What'd I say?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." But you, when we come back, I wanna dive into the gap from I graduated from Mount Mary to I'm here now doing gangbusters business, and we're going to talk about that other business when we come back as well. I'm doing gangbusters business, doing strategy for content creators.
Yes.
What was in the middle of that? We're going to talk about that. Paige Engel, she is, and the name of your company is?
K. Paige Engel Media, but then the other business is Paris by Paige.
She's taking over the world. Can you leave a little bit for me?
Qu'est-ce que vous voulez que je dise?
Okay, I appreciate that. 833-212-1017 if you have any questions for Paige Engel. Entrepreneurship Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Everywhere in America, families are struggling with an all-too common problem.
She missed school again.
Again?
Something is going on. She's secretive.
Should we check her backpack?
When you suspect a family member has a substance use disorder, it's hard to know what to do next.
We need to talk to her.
Starting the conversation is the first step to getting help. Visit SAMHSA at samhsa.gov/families for tips. Or for treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Registration is now open for Greater Milwaukee Urban League's Microsoft Certification Course. Classes start Monday, November 11th, 2024 through Friday, January 10th, 2025. Join them Mondays and Wednesdays from 9:30 a to 11:30 a with practice times available on Fridays from 9:30 a to 11:30 a. Earn your Microsoft certificate in PowerPoint, Word, and Excel, all with an in-person instructor. Work at your own pace and add new skills to your resume. For more information, visit tmul.org. Hurry, space is limited.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Telly Hughes with his truth.
I want to stress the importance of a positive mindset. Everything begins as a thought before it ever becomes an action. So it's extremely important to purposely place yourself in positive spaces to help shape and nurture those thoughts. I know you're probably thinking, okay, Telly, let's be realistic. Look, I get it. You may work with people with bad energy, or you may even be related to people who are negative by nature. In this journey called life, there will be many things that come your way that's out of your control. But what you can control is how you respond. Understand this. You have the right to either tap in or tap out of whatever energy that may come your way. And that's how you can control and protect your positive spaces. The mind is where it all starts. And if your thoughts are centered around positivity, you'll see how things begin to transform. You will see a noticeable difference between things happening for you versus things always happening to you. You begin to grow through situations as opposed to just going through tough situations. Make it a priority to surround yourself with positive people and create those positive spaces and begin to experience the fruits of what a positive mindset can produce. Trust me. It takes work to creating these spaces, and you have to be intentional about it. And I'm committed to putting in the work because I'm living proof that it's well worth the peace a positive mindset brings.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Cell phone on
43, slowing down from Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. We've got the northbound side backed up from the high-rise bridge all the way through the Marquette up to about Fond du Lac Avenue, where there is a crash off on the right shoulder. Beyond that, stays kind of heavy all the way up past Locust. We've also got delays on eastbound 94 at about Highway F. We do have a crash on the left shoulder on eastbound 94, so that's going to be causing some issues. Delays from Highway 16 to that point, and then more delays from 84th Street through the Stadium interchange. Watch out for 41 southbound heavy from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Increasing clouds, a low of 28. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Slight chance for a mix at night, a high of 40. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snibe. After beating the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday afternoon by a final score of 38-10, the Packers will quickly turn their attention as they get set to welcome in the 5-6 Miami Dolphins to Lambeau Field on Thanksgiving night.
These guys got to do whatever they can to try to get their bodies back, and that's a physical football team we just played. So I'm sure some of the guys are going to be pretty sore, but they're in there doing recovery right now.
The Packers will be back out on the practice field later today. That kickoff is set for Thursday night at 7:15. Over to the NBA as the Milwaukee Bucks get back in action tonight down in South Beach to take on the Miami Heat in Game 3 of the NBA in-season tournament. The Bucks remaining undefeated at 2-0 in group play. Tip-off tonight gets underway at 6:30. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com. Entrepreneurship Tuesday on Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is powered by We Energies, energy you can depend on.
I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. You're listening to Entrepreneurship Tuesday on Truth in the Afternoon with me, Dr. Ken Harris. Our guest today is Paige Engel, and she is an online business manager. She has multiple companies and is doing, kind of taking over the world and not leaving a lot for the rest of us. I'm just saying. she's not leaving a lot for the rest of us. And so I wanted to ask you before the break.
Yeah.
I want to go into business, right? And so I would say, how soon should I actually start paying attention to what I need to do in life? But it sounds like you didn't do that till after you got back to Milwaukee and after you got out of grad school and had the same thing that most black people have, is that later is when it clicks.
Correct.
And they want to do it.
Correct.
What's your story?
So my story with that is I think it's important for everyone to immediately, like when they get out of school or even when they're in school, think about the things that you're good at. I mean, there's a sweet spot. There are the things that you're good at. There's the things that you have aptitude for. And there are the things that people will pay you for.
Right. Which may not necessarily be all the same thing.
Which may not always be the same thing.
Okay.
And so it's about experimenting, and it's about being okay with failure, getting knocked down, getting back up, and then figuring out what the pivot point is, right? I think it's important for people to do that. I think it's important for people to carve out their own path. I think a lot of times in all communities, you have pressures on you of what you should do, or I always say we shouldn't be shouldn't on people. You really have to trust your gut, and you really have to experiment and learn.
So when you say that, how do you do it amongst people who are constantly saying that you shouldn't, right? What are you doing that for? Start your own business. You need to go to work and get a job and have people pay you.
So I think there are two things you can do. One, you can trust your gut, which is my gut has always served me, right? And you can do it. Forget what everybody else says. Do what you want to do. The second thing, which I think is more accessible to a lot more people, is you go to work, and you get the job, you try it out, but then you do the side hustle of what your passion is or what you're really interested in. And then you have 2 incomes. What's wrong with 2 incomes?
Makes sense to me. So then, in your instance of having that transition and going to Mount Holyoke and going to Mount Mary and then going through all this stuff, and then you found out, nope, I don't want to do that. I want to do this in content. I want to have a travel business to France. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So I knew that I had, like I said, I had this gift for languages. I had this gift for making people feel comfortable in uncomfortable situations. There's nothing like going to a foreign country and you don't speak the language and you're trying to navigate. And for some reason, people loved how I did it. And so I was able to make a business out of that. And it just always goes back to what do you want to be known for and how do you want to serve? That's how I think of it. And that has always worked best for me.
So what kind of trouble can you get into in your business?
I think in my business, especially when it comes to being a strategist and an OBM, is not having a network of people.
Now, what's an OBM?
It's an online business manager.
Okay.
Yes. It's not having a network of people to refer people to. So if I don't know how to do something, I know that I can find somebody who knows how to do it. So it's about that connection piece. It's about networking and finding someone in your circle that can serve your client or whatever. You can't fake it till you make it. You know what I mean? There's some things you just can't do. So it's about having, people can get into a lot of trouble if they try to do that, but have that network in place.
Okay. So how do you create a network online? I mean, the normal way of creating it is the social media piece, but how do you find credible people? Notice when I say credible, I mean credible people online. Like, how do you vet them? How do you locate them? Do you join groups? Like, what is that?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of all those things. You can join groups online. You can join groups in real life. It's also about the referral network of the people that you do know.
Okay.
Right? Ask them. I mean, if you need to have your house painted, ask someone who painted your house if you like the work that they did.
Right.
And you know, people love to talk and people love to tell you negative things if something didn't work out right for them. And they will tell you. So it's about building that network both online and offline. It has to be a combination because otherwise people can sell you smoke and then you're going to be hurting. So yeah, it's about building that network.
And so when you build out the network, so how do I identify that person that then knows that person, right? So do I, get to know you, and then when I find out, oh, he or she don't know anybody, so then do you keep that person your friend, or do you allow them to use your network? How's that work?
Yeah, so I'm not a fan of dropping anybody because you never know when you're going to need people. Okay. But I do think it's important to make sure that you have a wide variety of people in your net. Like you cast a wide net, right? Like I don't know how to do nails, but I'm pretty sure I can find someone who knows how to do nails if I need somebody to fix something or sew something for me or, help me produce a podcast, right? I can find someone in my network. And it's about really finding out what that special sauce is for each person. That's one of the things I tell my son. Everybody has something that they bring to the table. It is your job to discover what that is. They may not even know what it is yet.
I think I'm hanging out with you a little more. We're gonna have to take a trip to France.
Yes, I would love that.
Go to Paris.
Absolutely love that.
All right. So when we come back, I have some questions I want to ask you, but you can't know what the questions are. You got to answer them cold.
All right. Fair enough.
Because everybody that comes on Entrepreneurship Tuesday answers the questions cold.
I got it.
All right. I hope you put your college education to work.
Okay.
All right. You're listening to Entrepreneurship Tuesday. Our guest is Paige Engel. I keep wanting to say the K because my name starts with a K. Yeah. It's just great. This is Entrepreneurship Tuesday, powered by We Energies. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash Giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices. One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Looking for a fun family activity to get into the holiday spirit? Visit or volunteer for Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive in Grafton on Saturday, December 7th. The event is free and we will have lots of fun activities. Capco is dedicated to bring communities together and has collected over 300,000 toys through Kids to Kids. Join us and WTMJ for a celebration of giving and bring a new unwrapped toy to help children in need this holiday season. Support Kids to Kids. Visit kidstoKidstoydrive.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious accident? It's free. Yes, free, as in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. There's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I want to say thank you to Associated Bank for being a founding partner of the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Together, we're committed to uplifting local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. Be sure to tune in with Jamming with Juice on Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday as they interview Black entrepreneurs and encourage you to buy local on Small Business Saturday. Whatever your needs are, Associated Bank can help. Member FDIC, buy Black on Small Business Saturday. Also, Truth Nation, everybody's favorite holiday tradition, Black Nativity by Langston Hughes returns for its 9th annual musical production celebrating the power of the Black family. It runs for one weekend only. That's December 5th through the 8th at Marcus Center's Wilson Theater. Now's your chance. Oop, I'm a day early. Disregard. I'm a day early. Anyway, tomorrow I'm giving away tickets to see Black Nativity. So y'all listen. What time are you going to do it? I'm not telling you. It'll be between 4 and 6. How's that? Just happens to be during my show. Anyway. Isn't that great? But,
fantastic.
All right. So I got a series of questions I want to ask you because we're running out of time because you telling me too much stuff.
Oh, okay.
Too much stuff. No, you're not telling me enough because we want everything. And so this one is more personal, and we want to know about you, the entrepreneur.
Okay.
Right?
Fair
All right.
enough.
You ready?
Yes.
All right. Don't get mad at me. Let me see if she can throw something. Okay, she can't throw nothing at me. So, what have you done recently for the first time?
Recently, for the first time, I let someone plan a trip.
I gave up control.
I gave up control, and it was one of the hardest things, the hardest 3 days that I've had in a long time.
Wow.
I'm being honest.
I don't even know how to unpack that. Like I just did. Okay. All right. Apart from adding more time to your day, what would be the biggest difference in your life?
Connecting with more people.
How? Well, you connected with the internet. Like, what else is there? You got like 10 billion
meaningful
people.
connections with people.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing, what one thing do you have to do every day?
Kiss my husband.
Ooh. I'm going to ask him. What's his phone number? Hey, call.
I won't say it over the airwaves.
Is that what you like? Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
We're celebrating 20 years. So.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah. What's the first thing you do in the morning?
I usually say a prayer of gratitude.
Okay.
Because I feel truly blessed.
Okay. For the fact that it's a new day, or the fact that you just actually woke up? Okay, I'm just giving you.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Okay.
A little bit of both.
All right. I wonder what song is in your head right now.
What, my favorite song? Africa by Toto is one of my favorite songs.
Shocking.
Shocking.
Why is that?
I think that and The Love Boat and Heart to Heart all like started that quest for travel.
Oh, wow. So you were a TV watcher like me.
Yeah. Seeing the world.
Yeah, and so you lived vicariously through TV.
Correct.
And you were
reading.
able to listen. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought that was just me. I feel weird now.
You're special too.
Who's your good? Well, wait a minute. I think she's trying to say I rode on the little yellow bus.
No, not
the short
at all.
bus with special people. Okay. Who's your guru? Like when you hit that wall and you go, okay, I got to come up. Oh, I'll call, I'll look, I'll read. Who is that?
First of all, I don't believe in gurus, but I do.
I'm just using the word guru.
Okay, so like a mentor?
Well, that's what a guru is. A person is that mentor that sits with you.
Yeah.
And so the quote unquote in quotes guru is the person that has enough life experience that if they can't get it for you, they can find somebody that can get it for you.
So, all right. I don't like the word guru.
Don't be trying to be all technical.
I call him my business boyfriend, and that would be Gary Vaynerchuk.
Got to show you some love. Gary V.
Gary V.
Why Gary V?
I appreciate his realness.
His candor.
His realness, and his empathy. I mean, I think he comes from a really good place, even though it may not be something that you want to hear.
And he's weird because he's a millennial.
Yeah,
but he sounds like a boomer.
Well, he's a few years younger than me.
Right.
But
he sounds like a boomer. Like, okay, you failed. Okay, now get up. Like people don't live on the ground. Like what are we doing?
Keep it moving.
Things that keep it moving.
Yeah.
And so he kind of tells people where they are because somebody tells him.
Correct.
You know, his entire life. His father told him, hey, you're not gonna do that.
Right.
Knowing that that's what would drive him and have him do it. And so now he's a multimillionaire, almost a billionaire. And I think his goal is to buy the New York Jets.
That's one of his goals.
Which is unfortunate, but you know, whatever.
But he knows that too.
But at the rate they're going, But at the rate they're going, he might be able to buy them.
Yeah. Right.
What in your wardrobe do you have to wear? Because you know, men and women have that magical thing or the thing that, you know, I got blessed today and I was wearing this or had this or did, and now it's it. What's the one piece of your wardrobe you gotta wear?
So I'm going to get a little personal.
That's the whole point.
And it's French lingerie, quality French lingerie.
Okay.
I have to wear every day.
And so it makes you feel a certain way.
Correct.
By the softness and the texture.
And the quality.
That I can do anything. Like when I put this on, I'm good. I have a sweater like that.
Okay. Yeah.
I have a sweater. It's the quintessential professorial sweater with the arm patches.
Oh, and everything.
And it's waist with the pockets in the front.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, I don't wear it every day, but when I wear it, it's for a very specific reason.
Yeah. Yeah, it gives me power. It gives me power to know that my talent and my gifts, I was able to go to the shop, the French boutique shop, be able to communicate with them, and be able to have the funds to buy the things of luxury that I wanted to.
So what can the teammates here at 1017 The Truth do to help you?
If you are...
But before you do, I really need to know how to get a trip to Paris. You got to tell us that.
Yeah, definitely. You can reach out online. I'm everywhere. K Paige Ingle on social everywhere. Go to my website, pageingle.com. All the trips are there. I also do private tours to Paris.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So that's PAIGE.
Correct. PAIGEENGLE.
Okay.
.com.
And so social media, podcasts, whatever it is, whatever content space I want to create, email,
yes,
I can come to you and you can help me navigate whether I've been doing it 20 years or 20 minutes.
20 years, 20 minutes. Excuse me. 20 years, 20 minutes. Also a part of the influencer piece. So I actually have a live channel over on Amazon Live, where it's basically like a HSN or a QVC, but on Amazon. I have a channel over there. So any sort of content creator or monetization methods that content creators are doing, we also help with that.
So how do I do that? I mean, how do I become a Amazon Live?
Yeah. An Amazon influencer. You know, there are different ways to do that. You can apply. There are different levels to the Amazon influencer program, affiliates. We just help with all of those things for people who want to strategize and monetize. That's what we do.
And so how do they reach you? You've got a phone number?
I do have a phone number. My phone number, you can reach me, like I said, online anywhere. But the phone number is area code 414-215-0170.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you, Dr. Ken.
All right. Since we got a few more minutes, I got some more questions I'm asking.
Okay, fantastic.
And you'll know when it's going to end because he'll play the music, and then that'll be that and all that. But
I love it.
What's your best habit and your worst habit?
My best habit is reading every single day.
And your worst habit is?
My worst habit is not drinking enough water.
And so what do you do when you're creatively stuck?
When I'm creatively stuck, I like to go for walks.
Interesting. What buzzwords would you want to never hear again? Or even phrase?
Or even phrase. I hate when people say, pardon my French, because they are not speaking French.
And bad language is not French.
Correct.
Okay. Biggest mistake you've ever made?
Not listening to my gut, my instinct on a job decision.
How do you unplug? I go to France.
I do, and then I still don't unplug. I unplug in the shower.
Okay.
It's the only place.
But do you sing?
I can't sing, but I don't sing in the shower.
I'm going to ask your husband. Like, what book would you recommend to everybody?
I would recommend My Beloved Country.
That's an old school one.
It's an old school book, but a really good story.
Is there advice you're glad you ignored?
Yes.
What was it?
Be like everybody else.
Wow. And what piece of advice would you give your younger self at age 34? 20 years ago, 30 years ago. What would you tell in your 20s, 30s?
Yeah, I would say take your time.
Which is weird because everybody's speeding up.
Yes.
Wow. Outstanding. Well, thank you, Paige Ingle.
Oh, thank you.
I appreciate
you. Oh, I appreciate you.
Thank you for coming on Entrepreneurship Tuesday. You're going to come back and see us in about 6 months?
Absolutely.
Tell us about, or if you have a trip coming up?
Yes, we do have a trip coming up. We got a trip coming up to Sicily in 2025, and then Paris in 2026.
Outstanding. Well, thank you much. I appreciate it.
Merci beaucoup.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Tori Lowe Show is coming up next. I'll see you in about 22 hours. Thank you. Jason, appreciate you. Mrs. Ingle, thank you very much for being here. Entrepreneurship Tuesday, powered by We Energies. I'm out.
Tuesday, December 3rd is Giving Tuesday, and The Truth is teaming up with Milwaukee College Prep to make a difference for Milwaukee's future. For nearly 3 decades, Milwaukee College Prep has been redefining what's possible in urban education. MCP provides a top-tier K-8 education free of charge to 2,000 children in underserved communities. With less government funding than traditional public schools, MCP needs your support to provide critical resources for scholar success. Join us in giving the gift of education on Tuesday, December 3rd for Giving Tuesday.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify.